Welcome back to Wepner Farms Productions. We've ran into a little bit of a predicament, as one would say. So these alley scrapers, they're wonderful, great, absolutely best thing we ever did until it's Saturday morning trying to get chores done. And you got something like this going on. It's not supposed to be like that. How are these alleys supposed to scrape themselves if the scraper is not working? So we'll just toss that over there for now. I got a cow over here. I got to run into the robot. And then, judging from the fact that our flat bar is about 40 feet from this scraper where it's supposed to be, we probably got a bit of a mess on the other end. Hopefully everything else is in good working operation, because otherwise I don't know if our morning's not going to be so good anymore. So come on, heifer, let's go. We got other things to do than to chase you around. All right, we got her in the robot now. Let's work on our chain. This is what the scraper's supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be moving, scraping the alley all as one piece. That's the most ideal thing for it to be doing. But no, this one's got to be a rebel and be like that. Not ideal. Oh, that's great. So the scraper actually thinks it's still working, which unfortunately means that it's not going to know where it is when we get it back together. So we'll have to reset the strokes. Not the end of the world, but not ideal either. So here's that mess. Probably hardly see it, but we're gonna have a little bit of straightening out to do here. We'll get some light on the situation. Yep, chain just, I don't know, it's just messed up, I'd say. We got a big old pile here. Let's see how much we can get pulled over before it gets tight. Well, that was it. This is not the most fun thing to do. So as you can see, we got a big pile here. You maybe can't see it, but we're pretty well invested in this. So, we got all this junk built up. So the goal here is to get all this chain slack, big pile, over to this side so we can pull it back to where it belongs. Got poop on them, so we went and ran, chain back on the sprocket. Hopefully it's straight. Ideally we don't want any twists in it, so hopefully it's all running straight in line. Kind of ran it back a little bit to hopefully run it straight. But we're gonna want to run this so that this end of the chain is tight, and we're going to keep pulling this out. So this would maybe benefit from two people. But what are we gonna do? We only got one guy here fixing today. So now all this chain that we got hodgle pobbled, stay out of there. Up here we got to get this all down to that end. But since it's actually a really nice place to work on it, it's dry there in that hospital pen, we're going to go ahead and weld it up, and then we'll push it down to the other scraper. So meet you over there. Quite honestly, I didn't know the skid steer fits through here, but fits through here with plenty of room. Got like a whopping 3 inches of extra space. I suppose you want to get milled. We'll let you in. Got everything here I think we need to fix anything. This cow is 951. It's actually my last cow. Need milk in this pen. And then I managed to get 2 extra cows in here that I'm gonna chase out later. So why don't you go in there? I gotta watch her milk. She's kinda doesn't like to stand and likes to keep the milker off, so I'll keep an eye on her. Got just a couple cows on this other side. There's 2 cows there and 2 fresh cows. I'll have the map. Not a big deal. Little deal, little deal. So we got the welder here. We're gonna have to get this cleaned up, and then we're gonna have to weld this on, which looks like it's been fixed a few times. This flat bar is actually just getting to the point where it's gonna have to be replaced here. It's actually one of the thicker ones, but we'll get this cleaned up and get it fixed up. That should be pretty sufficient here. We got her welded around. I'm not gonna touch it. The sucker's hot, but should be good for another until it breaks again. Guaranteed until she breaks. Here we go, moment of truth. We're gonna try to use just the fork here, and we're gonna try to catch that piece of barn cleaner chain and see if we can't push her over there. There we are. You maybe see it in the end there. We're just gonna push it right down there. And hopefully our chain is piled up nice enough that it's not gonna catch on anything down there. We'll feel it if it does catch. So just keep pushing it. Now we gotta get this thing connected together. So usually we can just kind of kick everything over, get it to slide in. This might be a problem. We're like short an inch here. Look at that, it's beautiful. We didn't have but an extra inch to get that together actually. So now we gotta get our skid steer out of here. We'll back up a little bit, and judging from the fact that I had to use skid steer to put that together, should have plenty of tension to keep that all together while we work our way out, and then finally put the tension back on it with that unit back there. We ended up not being too far off, just about to the end here. We're gonna stop it. We're at probably about 85%. Excuse me, cow. Trying to get the best shot possible. So that's where we want the scraper to stop, at 84.98%. So we want to go in here, set stroke, and this is going to be the end, so we want to teach it to end here. Teach alley end. Okay. And now we're going to hit continuous. Now it's going to run a reverse. That should start going forward. And then since it wasn't all the way back, that means it's going to go too far on that end. So we're going to want to keep a close eye on it so that it doesn't go too far. So I'm going to actually slow this back down to make sure we can make it back in time, because I want to put that welder away. Run it right around 40% typically. And we are going to hurry our butt up and get back here before the scraper gets to the end again. Just one thing after another here. Could be real sneaky. Sneaky. There's this cow on the end here. If you look really close, you'll notice that she is having a calf. This is not where they're supposed to have the calves. You're supposed to have them in the bedding pack. Excuse me, girl. Get out of the jumbo stall. It's like her water might have broke, might not have broke. Something's coming out of her. I don't really see it. I mean, it's really wet here, but it doesn't really look that mucusy, so I don't know if it's broken out yet. She's definitely gonna have a calf, that's for sure. We could have ran a little bit faster. We got another 60 feet to go. We'll just speed it up again just so we can get done with this process. So she's cranking. There's the scraper there, working its way back. Hello! You here for more camera time? Need to get your quota of screen time? Ow, don't bite me. Ouch. Alright. Fun times. Alright, teach alley to start. Okay. Now we can run continuous. Turn us back to 40%. Should be ready to rock and roll. Time to carry on with my chores. We'll see you in the next bit. Chores are all done. I didn't really feel like making a decent breakfast. This is what we got going on here. We got cheese curds. They don't sound like this. You don't have good cheese curds. Them are fresh. And peanut butter, grape jelly, and marshmallow sandwich. We'll see how it is. I didn't try it yet. I was used to in high school for a snack. I always brought a peanut butter and marshmallow sandwich. So I figured I'd throw a marshmallow on there. Let's see how it was. So I need to get a gator out. We're gonna move on to our next project. Cheese curds are all gone. Can you see the marshmallow in there? A really nice touch. I'm glad I did that. Clap for a cup. It is a casual Saturday morning. Stay up a little too late last night, buddy? Must have. So today we are after ancient Indian sex stones, also known as fucking rocks. This is going to be a hay field in the future, and if you guys remember anything we have done in the past, no harvesting equipment likes these things. Granted, these ones are probably too big. The chopper's probably not going to pick them up, but I don't care to smack them with cutter, and I really don't care for hitting them with the merger. So that's what we're doing right now. Now that the field has already been planted, we're going and picking up rocks. They kind of seem to be in bunches. If you find one, you'll find about 10. They're like rats. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Bean's not doing a very good job. He's supposed to be helping, but he's really not. He's just running, burning some energy. So I think I got all of them in this vicinity. We'll have to go and find our next rock. Oh, good boy, good boy. He's pooping in the tall grass like he's supposed to. So yeah, I'm not gonna bore you guys with rock picking, so I'm not sure if we're gonna fire up a time lapse and see how many rocks we can collect, or if we're just gonna fill this thing up. Boy, I almost stepped on that one. How did I miss it? Oh, just goes to show how many rocks that are probably still gonna be out here even after I pick it. Oh, and this field is already planted. My old lady and I were planting it, and I was making her get out and pick the rocks and throw them on the steps. After about 5 of those, I said, this is dumb, we'll come and pick them later. So by we, I guess I mean me and the Bina. So I let him run around, and I'm gonna go pick some rocks. We're accumulating a pretty good haul back there. Oh, here's a rock. We should be coming to the end. I'm not 100% sure, couldn't really tell you 100% why, but this farm here used to be, I believe, 5 strips. So that hayfield was a strip, and this was actually 2 strips, and that was 2 strips up there as well. So there's a bunch of little dinky fields going towards minimal tillage, no-till kind of corresponding with each other. Usually have a lot less rocks to pick. Usually don't pick many at all. This field that would have been the top field of these 2, I don't know what we did last on it or how long that has been in this program, but pretty much you can see a perfect line. Now there is some rocks as we go along here to pick up, but I bet you I picked up this many rocks on this half of the field. I bet you I won't even pick up half that on this next section of field. Still, obviously some. You're not gonna get away from picking rocks, ever. But I don't know if we chisel plowed that field more recently. Just hasn't been in hay for a long time. I couldn't tell you why. That really, hay doesn't make sense either, because I know it was just hay 2 years ago. I don't know, just trying to come up with an idea on why there's so many more rocks up in that half the field than this half the field. And like I said before, they kind of come in waves. There'll be like a section or like an area that'll have a lot of rocks, so I think they just spawn in certain areas. I'm not really sure. I could ramble on for hours about why there's more rocks in the top field than the bottom field, but now it's all one field, so eventually hopefully it'll just be no rocks to pick. Here's a nice rock. That's a good sized one. Anyways, I'm gonna finish picking up these rocks. I honestly do not think there's very many left to pick, so we'll see how many more we can get. Okay, we're in the fence line. Not a bad little haul. It's maybe, I don't know, a few acres. Let's see if we can dump them. Not bad. A little change of scenery. We're in the 8430. We got the accelerator high speed disc behind us. And now we're incorporating some cover crop seed into the soil. We've been working all of our corn ground twice with this fall, just because of how wet it was when we actually harvested the corn. So trucks kind of put a toll on the ground, made it a little rough. This is just kind of how we're gonna level it back off. Here's one cornfield. We're not gonna do that one yet. We gotta put manure on that. But the field we're going to is just down the road, and then we got a couple by the farm. Dad worked up some ground this morning that we're going to catch up on after he gets them planted. So he's going out with the air seeder. He's going to put the seeds down, and I'm going to incorporate them into the soil. Pretty large scale tiling project going over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like they got 10 rolls of, looks like 4-inch tile left to put in, and they've already done probably, they got a field behind that they have done. They've probably already done 15, maybe upwards of 20 acres over here, and they are hammering it in. Looks pretty nice. They got quite the setup. They got a big boy tile plow, self-propelled machine, and some other stuff. Oh, here comes my stepbrother and his Mustang. Boy, you guys are seeing all the scenery today. Everybody wave. Here he goes. The old 5-0. Unfolding. So with this thing, it runs a lot of down pressure mechanisms. So the wings are going to have down pressure on. That's going to help it all keep flat and consistent. And then the star wheels in the back, those will also run down pressure. So get this thing unfolded, and we'll click that right into position. And same with the star wheels, we'll run them. We won't touch them until we're done with the field. This is 3-point, we don't want to worry about that either. We'll just close that up so there's not any accidental button pushing. And then we're going to get it lined up with the edge of the field over here, and probably want to be around 10th gear. And then our down is on a timer, so we'll just click our down button, and then we'll start tilling. So we can pull this thing around 10 miles an hour, probably be pretty sufficient. And then we'll kind of see what it's doing. Maybe set our gangs a little less, maybe do a little more, depending on what I feel is suit for this operation. We want to kind of leave the smoothest finish we can, and make sure the seeds are in the ground. I think the seeds are going to be in the ground regardless if we run our gangs straight or not. But just kind of what it looks like setting this thing up. Making dust. We could use a little rain. Could use a shot of rain to get everything going. But we got a lot of beans to harvest, so you know, rain could set us back on that too. Tilling. Look at those contours. I don't know if you can see them on camera, but it's a super hilly field. Very prone to washing. This makes the shallow tillage shine. At least if something does wash away, it's only going to wash away the couple inches this thing is working into the ground. Bit of moisture in the ground yet. Even though this has been worked twice, we still got a little bit of moisture coming up. Leaves are turning. It's a beautiful fall day, ain't it, Beaner? Beautiful fall day. And that is a done field as soon as we get to the road. That beautiful. Holy man, do we got a unit here. This was a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Holy man, I'm surprised the old Dodge pulled it. That is a big machine. Alright, we'll check this thing out. This thing is a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be. How'd she pull? Heavy? That is a big chunk of steel.
Construction on 35 going to 10, and I took a lane and a half, and there's only 2 lanes, and people are passing me, and they realize squeezing by like this much room.
Jesus. Holy man. Well, you guys might as well subscribe if you want to see this thing in there. Somehow, some way.
It's probably, when you set it in there, the wheels are at the bottom, it'll probably be like bigger.
Holy man. Gonna be a show. What have we gotten ourselves into now? Sorry, Beaner. I don't know how to work this thing. Looks like we got a pin here. Question mark? How does this come out? Come on, buddy. Quite the unit we got here. Alright, so I don't know if these are gonna hit me in the head or not, so we're gonna set you down. That ain't too bad. One boom down. Another boom. All right. We got to flip these puppies over. Got a 40-foot unit here. Air seating. I'm the first person besides my father to use this. I'm surprised he let me. So instructions were 6.5 miles an hour. Raise it up enough that the booms are slightly leaning forward. Not too high though. And to do a good job. So that is exactly what we're gonna try to do. I got my pin. I'm gonna set it inside this little cup holder here so that we hopefully don't lose it. All right. I think we're probably about high enough. We'll maybe go. Nope, not that much. We'll give that a try. So he said I gotta overlap about 100 feet of what he didn't get done. Looks like he was coming back this way, so we'll have to go down there a little ways and figure it out from there. So get this thing dialed in and get ready to start planting. All right, we need to fire up the vacuum. That is working, seems to be. He didn't really say how fast I had to run it. He just said run it fast enough that it goes so fast. I think the hydraulics only run so fast anyways on this tractor. It doesn't matter what your RPMs are, it's just gonna run it. So I guess we just kind of decide what is a good RPM. We're gonna run around 15. Oh, that's way too much fast. Okay, we're gonna right around there, 1500, 4th gear, C position. Let's get turned around here. I think we're right about where we need to be. Guess we'll find out when it starts growing how good of a job I did. It's at about 100 feet. Let's say that's close to 100 feet. If we overplant some, that's fine. So this will make our seeds come out. Oh, there they come. I don't know if you can see. All right, we're planting. Look at us go. Professionals. I'm so talented, it ain't even funny. Within 7 inches of the line. 1 inch, 2 inch. It's just like spraying. Follow the line. All right, see what we can do. See if we can do a good job here. We need section control. Got some overlappage. Running 0 inches. Look at me go. Pretty good at this. Like I have practice. Look at me go. Holy man. Giving her the beans. What do you think, Beaner? It's your favorite job? Might be my favorite. Steal this. My job now. Just kidding. I'm not a big fan of this tractor personally. But we'll get the work done. It's all that matters. There's a little safety pin. So there's this thing, should be the same on the other side. There's this little pin, holds it in place. So I think this side's got to go up first, if I remember correctly from when I unfolded it. Now we'll swing this one up and put our pin in that we did not lose because we're professionals. Too much wind. Settle down. All right, we got her in there. Where's our pin? Hole. All right. We gonna get it? Look at us. We were born to do this. Literally born just to do this. It's fine. Struggling? Still struggling? We got it. Transport mode activated. Beaner's taking the wheel. Subdivisions, they're fun. Look at that beauty of a field. We got this one. We got one left over here. We'll go on this one next. We got a few more about this size. Jumping around through the ditch. It's good for it. Real good for it. Alright. Back at it. On to the next. Make a little loop. Look at all these bales out here. We could have maybe cut this ourselves. But they're building a house. They planted some trees out there actually. And there was some sample holes that they made to sample the ground for the septic or building or whatever it was really for. So I didn't really want to mess with it, if I'm gonna be honest. So we left it. Somebody came and farmed it. I don't know who. Goodbye, corn. So we got the rest of it though. So we got this field and one across from it. We got another one about the size of this one over there, and then there's one more decent size, a little bit bigger than that one on the other end of it. But coming to an end, the farm ground in this subdivision. What are you gonna do? People gotta live somewhere. Is this not the saddest thing you have ever seen? I think it's pretty sad. Just let you guys take that in for a minute. Chopper died there when we were chopping. Literally last field. The alternator belts. Well, the belt tensioner gave out, and that led to losing the alternator belt, which also runs the water pump. Apparently when that happens, chopper just quits for the day, leaves the chat, and doesn't run anymore. So Big Ricky's actually getting parts for it today, but we've been just kind of working around it. It's just kind of turned into a field ornament at this point. Very expensive field ornament, but we got the field off, nearly, except for the 3 stalks it left behind. Ain't that something? Said that's enough corn for the year, it's done, left the chat, goodbye. That's nuts. So anyway, this is the last field I gotta work up, and then we're done with tillage. We got Devin on the cullipacker. He's cullipacking everything that I planted today. And then pretty much just gotta check in at the farm and see if there's anything to do. And then we're heading her home. Beautiful, beautiful Saturday night. So yeah, I guess that's about all she wrote. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.